Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Unicorn Overlord. Last time we left off, we needed to do a bunch of romances so that we can actually do the final romance, which I actually want to do so that we can go hit up the sanctuaries and finish the story. Didn't have an episode yesterday because I knew I did not have the time with what was allotted to me to actually finish all the romances, and I wanted to at least finish all the romances in an episode. So, we're going to work on that today. Why not? So, let's go ahead and pull up the report list and just get through these. So, I did a lot the one time, so luckily we don't have too many, although we do have a lot that have, like, multiple cutscenes to do and things like that. But Eltalinda appears to be the only one that has, like, 3? So, oh hey, you're right here. Alright, what you got, Eltalinda? I have to know, Elaine. What was your first impression upon arriving in Elheim? Would have to be the greenery, of course. It is a far more wondrous land than Cornea, with a nigh untouchable divinity to it all. At times of solitude, it even felt as though the trees themselves were likely to pick me up and carry me off to unknown shores. Can't deny the possibility. Our forest is a beautiful place indeed, yet shall show no sympathy towards those who threaten it. And while Zenora's encroachment may have robbed the Fae of much of their strength, I'm certain they were ever vigilant in studying your actions, and presumably still are. Let us presume, then, that the forest were restored to its natural state. Would a mere word from your lips be enough to make me vanish for the rest of time? If the breadth of evil in your heart demanded such measures, then yes. Yet I can't imagine that ever being the case. Not for the man who was so brave in delivering me from Zenora's grasp. My faith in you shall not waver, Elaine, no matter what events may lie ahead. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Alright, next one. Let's see. So yeah, this is gonna be an episode of this, I think. Whole lot of this. Hello, you? Lane and Eltalinda? It's a fine morning, Eltalinda. Indeed it is, my prince. I pray the day ahead shall prove a fruitful one. Something the matter? Distant formality is far removed from the joyous girl of days prior. Speak of the moment you and the others came upon a rare variety of poisonous herb here in Cornea, of course. What a delightful moment it was, yet such outbursts are wholly inappropriate for one of my standing. There are rules I must uphold as the Terminus of Elheim. A ban on consorting with foreign dignitaries chief among them, no matter where my own personal feelings may lie on the subject. Yet in my view, you seem to be fulfilling that duty perfectly well. When the occasion calls for it, you command great esteem in your role as Totenos, while at others, you simply let yourself exist as a mere elf among friends and nothing more. I suppose the issue here is my wishing to be your friend. But all you did was express your delight at finding an herb. Anyone should be free to do the same, no matter what station they... Eltalinda? You misunderstand. I speak not of my behavior when conversing with the others, but rather the emotions I've begun to bear for you. Eltalinda, wow, you're very forward, and this is just the second one. Forgive me, I didn't mean to grab your hands like this. Oh, hand-holding too. And perhaps my doing so is testimony in itself, proof of the relationship I wish to foster with you. I wouldn't mind were that the case. Wow, yeah, no, I don't think we've had many people besides like Rosalinda that were that forward. Wow. Okay. Okay. Over here for the last one. So, which one is it? You? Lane and Ramona. We'll get to that. Eltalinda and Lenalagos. Wait, where was it? Oh, it is up here. Okay. Hi. Eltalinda? What is it, Elaine? Forgive me the outburst, but I can't say I much expected you to embrace me like this. It's a method I learned from one of my retainers. According to them, the best way to show a deep affection for someone is by holding them close and not letting go. Yeah, sometimes applying pressure is really good. It's not entirely incorrect, and yet... I find my actions odd. I understand. It's a difficult matter indeed to accurately study customs not found within Elheim's borders. Yeah, I imagine the culture difference is big. Ah, that explains why you seem so uncomfortable in doing so. You're blushing, Elaine. It appears we both are, yes. Perhaps I should have known this would be a struggle. How do you mean? I was only attempting to imitate your traditions as I was taught, and all the while my heart pounded in my chest. I'm meant to be the leader of my nation, but these feelings only make it more difficult to maintain the distance such a role requires. Should our association prove a hindrance to the war effort, Elaine? I don't want to maintain that distance with you, Linda. And the more our roles demand we stay at arm's length, the more I want to pull you close to me. Oh my. I admit, I'm happy to know I'm not the only one struggling with this. But try as we might, there will come a time we have to leave each other. It's simply the reality of our differing lifespans. And that's all the more reason to spend as much time together now as we possibly can. You may just be right, Elaine. Okay. There we go. Now we go have a wee bit of romance. Whoop. Save, please. Thank you. Alright. Good, good. And what you got? There you are. We're getting there, at least. This would have been so much easier if I just picked a character that I wanted to romance and just did that one, but... damn it!
I hear you have need of me, Prince?
Sorry.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Very well then. I should be going.
I'm surprised that's it. I mean, you two have basically already talked about the fact that you're into each other, so... I'm amazed there was, such a non-reaction there. Like you.
I'd like
the ring of the
to
Maiden.
have the ring of the Maiden.
Allow me to ask you something before I offer my response. Elves and humans bear the same flesh, bleed the same blood, yet the limits of our mortality differ greatly.
Yeah, we had to have this conversation.
I will live on long after your spirit has returned to the earth. My grief is all but inevitable if we continue down this path. What do you make of that?
I'm well aware that agreeing to this will subject you to years of solitude and sorrow. But I share in that sentiment myself. The mere thought of leaving this world without you at my side fills me with the coldest melancholy and fear. Even still, I wish to spend what little time I have with none but you. I know it to be selfish of me, naive even, and yet... I ask that you forgive me this request all the same.
Thank you, Elaine. I can tell you truly mean what you've said. And you're right. Grief visits upon more than just the one left behind. I accept your proposal, and your melancholy, your fear, as well as your selfishness. Let us swear our union. By the might of these sacred rings, we shall remain as one until the day death himself tears us apart.
There could be no greater honor.
Ooh, yeah, that is a sad one. I mean, at least they talked about this beforehand, you know? Something you gotta come to terms with.
As long as we have time to share in this life, I promise to share it with you.
And I the same. I love you, Eltalinda.
Oh yeah, I was saying Linda. It's Linda. Rosalinda, Eltalinda. I remember I've just been going back and forth on them because some characters pronounce it differently and things like that. Alright. Let's go. Let's continue. We have many more to do. This might be an entire episode of this. Like, we'll see how long things have been going once I get to, like, you know, the end of these, and then I'll decide, but I feel like this isn't, it says it's the final battle, I don't feel like it's the final battle. So, I imagine doing all these romances is going to take about an hour, so I'll have to decide whether I want this to be one video or more. Elaine and Celeste, another Griffin rider. And I trouble you for a moment, Celeste. Pertains to the banquet that was thrown for us after we liberated the nearby town. What about it? Well, 'tis merely that I noticed you putting a rather exorbitant amount of salt and pepper on your food. I do remember doing so, yes. You mean to say it was intentional, then? I thought the ale had gotten the better of you. I suppose my true question is, do you always eat in such a manner? Not generally, no. But I was so nervous sitting next to you that I could barely taste a thing. Never heard of such a phenomenon. I didn't want to let the feast go to waste though, so I poured on as much seasoning as I could to try and enhance the flavor. It's quite an inventive solution. Forgive me, Celeste, I failed to realize the hardship my presence caused you. It's not your fault, Prince. I'm just too shy for my own good sometimes. You're awfully skilled at hiding it, if so. Assuming it's me that caused you the most worry, perhaps we can help you grow accustomed to my company. Let's try shaking hands to begin with. Yes, let's. So do you just have a crush on me from the get? Celeste, you're burning up. Are you feeling ill at all? Wait here while I summon a healer. I'm fine, really. It's only nerves getting to me a little. This may prove more difficult than I expected. My god. What's your reaction going to be when I propose to you? Like, if that's your reaction to just shaking my hand, jeez. Alright, hello. Your temperature seems rather normal today, Celeste. Perhaps you've finally grown somewhat used to my presence. I believe I have, after all these mornings we spent shaking hands. The adventure was well worth it, I'd say. Even if it meant being teased by Lex every time he walked by. Something funny? Well, I'd never taken the hand of a prince before we started doing all this practice. And every time I do, I feel like I've become a princess just for a moment. And with neither castle nor crown, I should remind you. Strange to think that without this war, we likely would have never met each other. Ah, sorry, I seem to have let myself get carried away for a second there. I'll say that to reprimand you, Celeste. I really find it beautiful how even the most terrible of situations can give rise to such fine friendships. And potentially more than that. So should it bring you joy to think of yourself as a princess, I'll not tell you to do otherwise. Elaine just went out with the potentially more. I spent much of my time as a child reading fairy tales, grand stories of royal families and fearless adventurers. Often I would close my eyes and imagine I was a character in one myself. And here you speak such kind words to me, I'm starting to wonder if I truly am. It's a fine thought, yes. And come, we have a song to sing with the animals of the forest. I also needn't go that far into the fantasy. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt. I wouldn't mind humoring her for at least a little while. Cool. Let's see. Over here. Whoop. No. There. All right. So, me go ahead and hit up the save again. There's gonna be a whole lot of this. Yeah, God, seeing the timer already, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna take too long. I'll probably have to have this be its own video. Alright, Celeste. Come here. I do like your hair.
I was told you were asking for me, Elaine?
Nope.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Oh, of course. I'm glad I got to stand in such a wondrous place. If only for a moment.
No. Okay, no, come back. I'm just joshing ya. I'd like you to have it.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
It's beautiful. Almost like something out of a fairy tale.
It may as well be. This ring has been in the royal family for generations.
And you believe me worthy of such an honor?
I do. Both as a warrior maiden, spurred onward by her bounteous sense of justice, and as a gentle princess, able to tread this path ever at my side.
Oh.
I always dreamed of a day like this, but I never thought it would actually come. Not for me.
I take it you accept then?
Of course. I wouldn't trade your affection for all the riches in the world. And I may not be well versed in the ways of the court, but I swear, I'll always stand faithful to you, Elaine. Till death do us part.
Those words came as quite a shock the first time, but now, they're the finest poem I've ever heard.
There we go.
This truly is a marvelous ring. I'll have to make sure my griffin doesn't mistake it for a snack instead.
Yes, please do that.
That was a great delivery from Elaine's voice actor. Yes, yes, please do not let the griffin eat the ring of the maiden. I need that. just very, very well delivered. I like that a lot. Alright, load. Come on. Alright, so... where to now? Wait, what am I doing? No. Rapport menu. Sorry, I did just wrap up a very long stream not too long ago. It was 4 hours. I didn't intend to go for that long, but I kind of lost track of time. So, at least the Gamble one will be quick, because I just have this. I knew something was wrong when you stopped reporting back. Messed up, Gamble. Bad. Well, don't worry, that's why I'm here to take over for you. What about your own responsibilities? What about him? None of that stuff is gonna matter if you end up getting caught, you know. Guess not. Yeah, oh, and thanks again for doing this for me. Have you seen Gamble anywhere, Clive? Right here, boss. How fare the wounded? Sitting nice and safe in a nearby fort. Took a lot of work getting them there, but I think they're all gonna be just fine. Got word for you from Travis, too. Says Zenora's running out of supplies and fast at that. We need to simply await their retreat. Better that than risk our already weary soldiers in future battle. Should be off to alert Travis of the plan as well. Nah, you just keep doing your thing from here. I'll let him know what's what. It's very much appreciated. Sorry about earlier, Elaine. Must have caused some real problems for Gamble back there. What do you mean? Well, I got hurt pretty bad while I was out on my scouting mission. So I hid in an abandoned house, waited for the whole thing to blow over. At least till Gamble showed up and took over for me. What, he didn't tell you? Here you did Travis quite the favor, Gamble. Found out about that, did you? What do you expect? The guy could barely move a muscle. Only fair I went in this place. Guess I should have told you before I did, though, huh? But instead, I took things in my own damn hands. Go on, I'll stomach whatever punishment you want to dish out. It's not why I've come, Gamble. In fact, I wish to commend you for your sound judgment. Had you delayed for even a moment, my order to halt our advance would have come too late, magnifying our fatigue even further. Well, look who's gone all soft on me. Won't deny that I have, yet this incident only proves that I already believe to be true. You are a fine member of this army, Gamble, and a trustworthy friend. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah. It's about what I expected between those two, but let's see what this looks like, why don't we? Alright, don't forget to save. You mustn't forget to save. I mean, it won't be the biggest deal if I don't sometimes, especially if I start cycling them properly, because if I make the mistake, then we can just go back to a previous one and I can just skip the cutscenes, basically. Alright, Gamble. Get in here. I always hate having to wait for their, like, walk-in. I wish it just started with them talking sometimes, but not everybody does this.
It's supposed to be a joke, boss? Because you wouldn't catch a damn hyena laughing at it.
Sorry.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Just about gave me a heart attack there. Don't go getting it wrong again, yeah?
Alright. Yeah, Gamble's cool. I do find I like Gamble. And the idea of, like, this character that's done some messed up things trying to redeem themselves. It's cool.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Me? A maiden?
It belongs to the one I trust most. And that would be you, Gamble. Please.
Always knew you were a naive little softy, but this is something else. I'm in. You're the only reason I'm not bones and dust right now, so... whatever you say, boss. That it?
Indeed. We should now be able to draw on the ring's full power.
Then what are we waiting for? It's time we teach Galerius who's the real king around here.
Yeah, it makes sense Gamble was so surprised by this choice. I can't think of many instances where he would be the right choice, given everyone else in our army. But, there you go. The same thing for, like, Jeremy, though. I just like that Jeremy, like, it didn't even... Jeremy wasn't even accepting, and it was actually like, yeah, no, I'm really all about Elaine. Jeremy was trying to think about how to pawn the thing, which is just hilarious to me. I love it. Okay. Mandarin. Okay, you're gonna be a quick one. I only got one with you. You're gonna be a weird one. Oh, I almost skipped it. Whoops. If I may, Mandarin, I saw you giving food to a child in town earlier. Oh yeah? What of it? I suppose I'm merely understanding why... Why? Will you not go hungry with us to eat? I only ever turned to thieving for Gamel's sake, you know? Not like I had much choice either way, growing up as poor as I did. Every night I'd sleep out in a field just like this one, choke down grass to keep my stomach from screaming at me. Once in a while I'd get travelers stopping by to tear off some of their bread for me. I always thought it was the damnedest thing, so I made a promise to myself. If I ended up surviving past childhood, I was gonna do for other people what those travelers did for me. I understand your reasoning, Mandarin, and I can agree with it, not if it means you're going to hinder your own well-being. Should have known you'd lecture me for this. I'm telling you, I'm fine. Worst comes to worst, there's always the grass. We feast together. If that's your answer, my meal can go to a child in town as well. Gotta be kidding me. This is no joke. One day soon I shall be king of this nation. Once I am, I promise I'll never let my subjects go hungry again. Yet 'tis only by knowing the bitter taste of grass myself that I can truly understand their pain. I thought I'd hear words like that come out of a prince's mouth. But I guess I didn't think you'd ask me to join your army either. You're a pretty good guy, you know? Thank you for saying so. In any case, which varieties of grass are safe to eat? Well, there's one thing you want to look out for. Yeah. Some of them can probably give you a tummy ache. Alright. So back over here. I mean, there was like what, how many of these did I have to do? Like 17 or something like that? I remember it being a pretty large number. I'm gonna save over a new slot just in case we screw up. Like I mentioned earlier. Okay.
Pretty place you got here. Question is, why am I along for the ride?
Sorry.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Good. I wouldn't want to get caught dead out here with you anyway. People might get the wrong idea.
Oh no, Mandarin's a Sun. Look at you with your tsundere ass. I didn't want to be with you anyway. Alright, come here, you big lug.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You mind repeating that?
I said, I'd like you to take this ring.
You feeling alright? 'Cause it seems to me you're a few horses short of a stable.
I'm of perfectly sound mind, I promise you.
Life's a funny thing, huh? One day you're off robbing a church, the next you're getting handed some fancy ring by a crown prince.
I suppose it is quite amusing when you put it like that. But listen to me, Mandarin. I know how deeply you care for those who are most important to you. I can't picture success coming without that strength at my side, nor that kindness.
Betting you know I can't turn down a friend in need either. Giving all I got for someone else is kind of my whole deal. And if that someone's gonna be you, well, maybe we can make a country where kids won't have to go to sleep dreaming for even the slightest scraps of food.
We'll see it done. You and I, together. What kind of friend would I be if I were all talk and no action?
A crap one. But we both know that's not you. Now come on, let's have that ring.
It would be my pleasure.
Right then. Time to roll up my sleeves and get to work. Oh, and, thanks for this, Elaine.
Alright. Cool. That's pretty much what I expected that one was going to be, but it is cool seeing what Mandarin kind of thinks of Elaine and just getting more stuff out of Mandarin, basically. So, neato. Okay. Next. for Oakleys, and this is going to be a long one. Univies is going to be 2, I suppose. Because Oakleys has 3. We haven't really gotten much out of Oakleys, so... It's rather strange we first met in Corny, Oakleys. Angels such as you almost are never seen out of Albion, if I understand correctly. You do. What was your reason for leaving, if you don't mind me asking? Ever since I was a young girl, I couldn't wait to be rid of my home. Thus, when the opportunity arose to work for the Orthodoxy, I took it and traveled the world's churches under orders from our pontifex. Despite my relative inexperience, everyone met my arrival with such incredible warmth. None more so than Sharon, with whom I quickly became remarkably close. Yet that cheer turned to despair upon my return to Albion. As I told my parents of my newfound friend, they greeted the news not with joy, but with anger. Berated me for even presuming to make company with a human. Failed to understand, was the very pontifex they revered not the same race as she? The basis for which you fled your home was to be free of the intolerance my parents espoused. Long had they warned me of the dangers of humankind, but I simply couldn't bring myself to share in their bigotry. Though it was only after that condemnation of Sharon that I finally decided to sever ties, at which point I returned to Ronmort to live in the manner I believed in. It must have been a difficult decision to make, Oakleys, even if you felt it to be a warranted one. It was. Of course it was. But I knew if I stayed, I would merely be subjected to more of their despicable slander. While Sharon cared not for her person's race or upbringing and would gladly welcome any who arrived at her door, it is her greatest virtue, Elaine, and a fatal weakness should it result in her being taken hostage again. Which is why I must always stay at her side to excise the buds of her doubts before they ever blossom into full-grown roses. More than certain you'll do just that, Oakleys. Yeah. 2 honors. Okay, and then we got another one here. So it is interesting, specifically your relationship with Sharon is what made you kind of, you know, really come to terms with like, wow, they're super bigots. Man, be part of your unit in the next battle, Elaine. And I would be honored to have you. Yet I wonder, is there a particular reason? Because you're better than anyone else at staying out of my way. And because we fight well together. When any wrong move could be the last you make, there can be no greater blessing than a trusted ally. I mean to imply you trust me, then. Glad to hear it. It is purely a hypothetical, I'll have you know. All I'm saying is that your skill is adequate. Which is a compliment in itself coming from you. Thank you, Oakleys. You've got some nerve. Take it however you want. And I confess, I trust deeply in you as well. Each of us bears strong proficiency with a shield, allowing us to press the attack while keeping our defenses raised. And given the swiftness of your blade and the precision of its thrust, I know I never need to worry when I have you at my side. Huh. Oakleys? That's truly how you feel, and you'd better just keep me there at your side, I mean. And you had best not think of doing otherwise, understand? I hadn't realized she cared so much. Yeah, that was a pretty visceral reaction. Did not expect that. Okay, over here. Now we're in Bestorius. Mandrin and Oakleys having a conversation together is the wildest to me. It's like, what are these two characters... What can they even have to talk about? That's Elaine and Bertrand. So you must be down here. Yeah, Elaine and Oakleys. There we go. Ah, hello there, Oakleys. Feels as though I've been seeing much of you lately, even outside of battle. It seems your feelings are playing tricks on you. At any rate, you needn't mind me, I'm just out looking for something is all. And what is it you're after, exactly? Search will go twice as fast if we work together. I'm not here to answer your questions, Elaine. Now stay out of my way, and I'll stay out of yours. Very well, if that's what you wish. Why do you insist on following me, Oakleys? What was I meant to do? Leave you in a forest to fend for yourself? You told me before that you trusted in my skill as a warrior. It appears that was hardly more than a cruel lie. It's clear now that you think me too helpless to even leave camp alone. It's not true. You bear great strength, Elaine, great enough to overcome almost any challenge that arrives before you. Yet our enemy is a deceptive one and will stop at nothing to see you slain, don't you understand? Why do you laugh, unless... Forgive me, Oakleys. I only said what I did in order to gauge your reaction. You mean this was all a carefully laid trap and I just walked straight into it? Indeed. That's perhaps not how I would choose to phrase the matter. In any case, I think I'm finally starting to understand you a little better, and thank you for always worrying about me. Grr, the enemy be damned. There's only one deceptive fool in this forest, and he stands directly before me. Sorry, Ocles, I meant no harm. I beg of you, lay down your blade. You have to try harder than that if you wish to escape my wrath. I'll make you rue the day you ever dared cross me. Oh my god! How is this proposal going to go? She's very angry. Goodness, okay. Well then. Let's, save. And, I can save over this one. And we will be fine. Alright, Ocles. There you are. How are we doing? What is your reaction going to be to this? This might be a funny one.
I've come as you asked, Elaine. What seems to be the matter?
Sorry.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
An error from you is an uncommon sight indeed. Yet I wonder, who did you mean to summon instead? Not that I care much. I'll be going now.
I do like Ocles' voice, and I love her hair. Like, I absolutely love the twin tails there. It's very nice. The twin braids, rather. So... my god, am I just like scrolling past you? There you are, gosh. Having a hard time finding you again. I'd like you to have this.
I'd like you to have...
Explain yourself.
We've shared many a fierce battle since the day we first met back near Ronmore. And in all that time, I've yet to find another who I would trust more intensely with my own safety. As for my part, I've worked tirelessly to become a man deserving of one as strong and stunning as you. So what do you say? Shall we save the world, you and I together?
To be frank, such glowing words set my teeth to grind. But, well, this is hardly the first time I've found myself bemused by your candor. And I suppose, somewhere along the way, I've actually grown fond of it. Do you understand?
I believe I do. But I'd rather hear the sentiment in plain words, if you will. How is it that you think of me, Ocles?
You'd make me spell it out for you? I'll only say this once, so listen well. While I admit you do have a naive air about you,
Go on.
I've never once doubted the keenness of your blade, nor the kindness of your heart. I care for you deeply, Elaine.
Would you mind repeating that? Just one more time.
I most certainly would. I already told you, once is all you get. Now then, I'll take that ring, if you still wish to give it.
It's all I could ever dream of. Thank you, Ocles, for being there when it felt like nobody else was. I could imagine no greater life than the one spent at your side.
You have a way with words. I'll give you that.
Alright, yeah, that was kind of a sweet one. She's very, very angry and does not like romance at all. But, it was nice. It was nice. You know? Alright, let's load. Okay. How many more? Let's count. We haven't done that many, so it's not gonna be much different, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? 11. Okay. Alright, let's go see Morard. How are you, big lion friend? Roar! Fear not, for the King of Beasts is here to him. Morard, what are you doing out here? Well, it's not what it looks like, I promise you. Every so often I act out the plot of a well-known storybook for the children back in Bastaritza. It's been a while since I've done so, given everything that's happened with the war. Since you thought to practice, suppose that makes sense? For a moment there, I truly believed you were leaping out to protect someone. I even found myself readying my blade to fend off any enemies before they could make their approach. I suppose what I'm saying is, it was a remarkably realistic performance. Glad you enjoyed it, Elaine. I have to wonder, though, is it not difficult acting all the parts yourself? Perhaps I might help you, assuming you wouldn't mind my company. Couldn't ask you to do that, Prince. Please, I insist. I've always held a marked interest in the theater myself. And while I often observed such productions from the audience, it was all too rare that I could actually partake. Well then, now's your chance. Here's the script I've been working off. Thank you, Morard. Let us begin at once. Evildoers beware. Surrender now or be put to the sword. It's a good start, Elaine. Now try that again with a little more energy. Alright. So we're gonna be doing some acting. I'm down. This is a fun concept for one. Altalinda and Unifi. Interesting. So you rebelled against Zenoira in hopes of rescuing the king's daughter. And in so doing, lost your memories as well as your body. As far as I remember, yes. I expect I'm the only human in all of Fevrith to have ever experienced such a thing. Yet here you stand, undeterred in your ambition to help those in need, both within Bastorius' borders and beyond them. I have to imagine you've always borne the clarity of purpose, even as a human. Purpose, huh? I'm not sure that had anything to do with it. Deserting Zenoira was a spur-of-the-moment decision, urged by passing emotion and nothing more. Once I had remembered what happened, once I knew who I really was, kept it from the very people I'd come to think of as family. Don't talk to me about purpose, Elaine. The only constant in my life is betrayal and deception. Even should that be the case, I'm certain you made the right decision. Few others would do what you did for the daughter of a king you were meant to slay. It was a staggering feat of bravery, Morard, and I'll not let you convince me otherwise. Or convince yourself. There was something else I remembered just as you said that. My consciousness faded after I had turned on Zenoira. I thought my end had finally come. Yet in that moment it wasn't a fear of death that gripped my heart, it was pride. Thank you for the reminder of that, Elaine. And you're right, you know, maybe everything really has turned out for the best. Sure it has, Morard. Okay. Now... back over here. And what can we do? Let's see here. Save. Just save over you. Okay. Morard. Where are you at? Are you all the way at the bottom? You are. I guess a lot of the Bestrels would be, since we got them kind of late. Kind of similar for a lot of the winged characters besides, like, Oclis.
Elaine, what's all this about?
Sorry.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
I thought so. This is no place for a man like me.
That feels bad. No, get back here, you big lovable oaf.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Don't be ridiculous. You know what kind of man I am. Someone like me doesn't deserve the honor.
That's where you're wrong, Morard. You've lived a life others could scarcely even imagine. A remorseful human, transformed into the most massive of Bestrels.
Are you bigger than the bear? I think Bertrand's still bigger than you.
Yet you never languished in the face of such great misfortune. You used it as fuel to propel you forth. 'Tis a feat only a select few might ever achieve, if any at all.
I mean, obviously a bear itself is bigger than a lion, but like, the anthropomorphized version of the creatures here, I still feel like the bear is still bigger than the lion.
I can't say I ever thought of it that way. But while we're on the subject of feats, you're barely old enough to hold a sword, let alone lead an army. But here you are, fixing to save the whole damned world.
I've never seen anything like it. Fine then. If you're that desperate for my help, who am I to say no? I have to admit, it's a real laugh knowing an old Zenoiran nobody will be the one bringing down the entire Empire.
I suppose it goes to show, life truly is full of surprises.
Says the man who just proposed to a lion.
Okay, well you're like one of the first dudes that actually called it a proposal.
Either way, I've got even more I have to protect now. First Unifi, and now you. So let's get moving. We have a battle to win.
Yeah, you're one of the few guys that actually straight up call it a proposal, or even act like you know that's what's happening. Neat one specifically for that. All right, let's load. Okay, so next one's Unifi, if I remember correctly. Unifi. Yes. Surprised. Ramona has 2, but Govil has 3. Govil's not one of the characters I would have imagined. I think that was Govil I was looking at. Oh. The smell. Aha! I knew it was you, Elaine. Sorry, were you tracking my scent? Mm-hmm. It's really easy to tell you apart from anyone else. You got this noble smell. It's kind of rough around the edges too. Totally different from pretty much any bestial. Interesting. Never would have realized that myself. What else? Were you out here picking berries? I can smell them in your bag. Can? And I can tell what you had for dinner last night if I really put my mind to it, or if you're getting sick. I even know what you're thinking right now. How does that have anything to do with scent? Oh, it doesn't. That was just a little joke. But wait a sec. What is it this time? We have to get out of here, Elaine. There's a blizzard coming our way fast. Just another of your jokes? Serious, come on. Hey, you better run. Blizzards are no joke. It was a good thing we left when we did, Unifi. Any later and we would have found ourselves trapped in quite the storm. And I must say, it's truly impressive you can perceive the weather by smell alone. That's just how it goes when you've lived in Bastorius as long as I have. You ever need a nose for something, I'm your girl. Okay, you can smell storms coming, that's cool. New one. There we go. Are all of yours going to be in Bastorius, like all of Merard's were? Some of the other characters are just all over the place. But a few of them are like, no, we're going to stick to this area. This should be the place. Oh, and the ice is pretty thin around here, so make sure you follow my every step, Elaine. So I shall. Still, it's striking just how dangerous of a land Bastorius can be. Especially when something as commonplace as gathering materials can carry deadly implications. I struggle to think how we could have ever managed without you, Unifi. Were you not here next to me, I wouldn't even be able to walk safely. It's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? None the slightest. Absent your guidance, our battles through the tundra would prove far more difficult. In fact, I would hazard to say you're the only reason we've survived as long as we have. Well, I'm just happy to help where I can. Now, this next part is where things get really tough. Grab my hand. You have to follow my footsteps exactly if you don't want to fall into any holes hidden under the snow. Very well. Oh, your hand is freezing. Well, yours is so warm. Guess you'll just have to hold on tight then. I'll thaw you out in no time. Unifi, to be honest, it's so cold out here. It's beginning to grow somewhat numb. You didn't think to tell me? You could have gotten frostbite. Or could have gotten frostbite, rather. Frostbitten. Okay, so scroll. And yeah, we're sticking to Bastorius for you, which makes sense. Alright, Lane and Unifi. Final one. Yet again, we've met with success in battle, and it's entirely thanks to you, Unifi. You're very welcome. But I don't know, it feels like maybe you're complimenting me too much. I'm certain I see the problem with that. Guess it's just getting my hopes up is all. It makes me think you might even want to live here in Bastorius with me after the war. It's not possible, Unifi. Not for the man who's going to be king, I know. Indeed. Claiming my kingdom is the very reason I embarked on this journey to begin with. Maybe I could come with you then? Oh, I wouldn't really be able to help you as much if we're not braving the tundra together. It's true that your aid has proven invaluable through the endless northern winters, Unifi. I would gladly let you lead me by the hand, no matter where we were in the world. I can imagine no warmth more comforting than that. For in truth, I've grown rather fond of the way you pull me around. Elaine, not only that, but I wish to do the same for you in my home of Cornea once we claimed it as our own once more. Would you be open to that? Nothing would make me happier. I've always wanted to see where you're from too, so no matter what happens, I'll be right here at your side through every second of it. Just promise me you're really gonna do it. Show me around Cornea, I mean. I promise, Unifi. I can't wait. Oh, that is fun. Showing someone that you're with or into around like your, you know, like where you grew up or like childhood areas and stuff like that. It's a fun time. Getting to reminisce with someone. Alright, go ahead and save. And hit this up. Unifi. So this might be a very cute one, we'll see. We will indeed see.
Well, I'm here. What's this about?
Sorry.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Oh, sure, if you say so.
It is a weird thing to say, like, oh, I called you out here, but you're not the one I wanted. You know?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Huh?
What is it?
If you're asking me that, then does that mean I get to be with you forever?
It does, if you're willing to accept. I could picture no brighter future, Unifi.
Huh. You know, I've never had a real family. Not that I can remember, at least. I mean, I do have Morard and Ramona, and they're the best foster parents I could have ever asked for. But I've been thinking, I want something more. A family I can call my own. And I want it with you, Elaine. So it makes me really happy to know you feel the same.
I as well. In truth, I've never been happier. I take it this means you'll accept then?
As if you even have to ask.
I do like Unifi. Unifi is cute. Unifi's good.
Now that that's all done with, maybe someday we can add to this little family of ours.
Now that's a deal breaker for me.
A nice idea. But I fear I only have one pair of rings.
That's not what I meant.
Wait, was Elaine being like, oh yeah, let's get some more people in this. Let's have a thruple, a quadruple? Elaine just totally sidestepping the I want to have babies with you route and going for the yeah, let's get some more people in on this route. Elaine going the polyamory route. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Alright. Let's go ahead and load. And see what's next. So I think Ramona's next? Owl? Owl. And then Dinah surprisingly has 3. Bertrand has 1. Okay, no, Goval has 1, Bertrand has 1, Bryce has 1. Okay, we have a lot of quick ones coming up, which is good. So let's see about Ramona's. Oh yeah, we were just at this one earlier. That is right. What marvelous architecture, though in truth nothing could be more wonderful than the unspoiled nature of these lands. Indeed, not even Cornea can boast such verdant forests. Yet I'll not deny your nation bears more greenery than ours, at least. Hmm? What is it, Ramona? Look above us there in the sky. Have you ever seen such magnificent birds before? Only in Elheim, I suppose. They're quite the striking features, now I can observe them more closely. Likely as a means of adapting to their environment. All life in Fairbrith has developed in such a manner. Why, speaking of birds, there exists a breed in Baxtorius which can swim through the ocean with all the elegance of a noble carp. It must feel wonderful to possess the freedom to roam either sea or sky whenever the fancy strikes them. Alas, that particular variety of bird are incapable of conventional flight entirely, but... what a lustrous glow these mushrooms boast. I wonder what they taste like. Best to ask in town if they're poisonous first. If only there were a library I could consult on the matter. Truly are similar, you know. Sorry? Speak of you and Unifi, of course. Your mannerisms are nigh identical. mean to imply I'm excitable as a teenage girl. Still, I can't exactly help myself. As much of the world I've never seen, having lived in Bastorius my entire life. I understand how you feel. Whenever our march brings us to new lands, I'm struck by the insatiable urge to know every last detail of the region. After all, you never know what wonders may await behind a neighboring tree or a distant mountain. Here's the two of us have more in common than I realized. It was a welcome surprise, yes. I must admit, I'm impressed you noticed these birds at all, given how far away from them we stood. Don't be. The eyes of an owl are inherently a great deal keener than those of a human. Natural disadvantage, is it? Fortunately, yes, but feel free to let me know if you ever discover something I haven't. So I shall. It's actually interesting that the owl character is the smart one, because owls are actually super dumb. Like, as far as birds go, they're pretty dumb. They do have fantastic eyesight, though. It's interesting that you mentioned Unifi is a teenaged girl, which I guess she could be 18 or 19, which I guess makes sense to me, but I kind of always thought of Elaine as like probably early 20s? Maybe he's like 18 as well, I don't know. It would obviously be weird if she was under 18. So I'm going to work with the idea that she's 18 or 19. I mean, even then, somebody like that being in a war sucks. But, I mean, I don't know how old Elaine is either. Like I said, I thought early 20s, but sometimes it's hard to accurately pinpoint down the ages. Like, we probably know Elaine's age if we did, like, some math. Like, if he ever mentioned how old he was when his mother died and then did the math on how old he is now. So there's probably a way to know. Ah, Elaine, you're up early. Indeed I am, but I must ask, what is it you're doing out here? Preparing breakfast, of course. Thought to welcome back the evening's patrol with a hearty meal fit for the most weary of Bestrels. Must care deeply for your brethren if you're willing to put in such effort for them. I do. Even the diverse bloodlines of Bastorius are all but branches on one large family tree. But enough about that. Perhaps you'd like to try a bowl? I hope you enjoy. It's my own personal recipe, honed and heightened through years of steady refinement. It's wonderful, Ramona, and what is it exactly? Humble fish stew, comprising thick cuts of salmon in a soup made only from the freshest milk in all the region. Just about every family does it their own special way, and this particular technique is mine alone. Isn't this like a real thing, like a cold... I don't know if he uses milk, but like a cold fish soup that's like vichyssoise or something like that? What a delicious stew it is. Rich in flavor, yet gentle on the palate as well. Glad it's to your liking. Is everything alright, Ramona? As I'm sure you know, Elaine, Bastorius has historically had limited relations with the other lands of Fevrith. For better or worse, the majority of Bestrels are wholly indifferent to the outside world. We would much rather focus on our own affairs than concern ourselves in those of others. I've begun to realize something traveling the lands as we have of late. Just as the manifold Bestral bloodlines strive to help one another, so too should the disparate nations of Fevrith. Very much agree. As for this future you struggle so valiantly to achieve, do you picture Bestrels to be a part of it? I do. Although we've much to learn of each other's customs and cultures. Confident that conversations such as these will engender a world where all races can live in harmony. What a pure, noble soul you are. Grateful to know the ideologies of tomorrow are best friendly in your hands today, and I pray for your success in making the future you believe in that isn't in an eventual reality. No doubt we shall do so together, Ramona. Now come, eat your stew before the frigid air steals all its warmth. Okay. Yeah. This is expected. I will be interested in seeing what your reaction is to me proposing to you, because obviously the ages of these characters are just all over the place. Like, Elaine's proposed to people that are like several, like 100 years older than him possibly. Elaine's proposed to people that are closer to his age. Elaine's like yeah, Eltalinda and Rosalinda look young, but they're pretty old. I feel like this character's pretty old. And then there's characters like Morden, which, I mean, I guess that's getting into the realm of, oh, that's like a partnership thing rather than like a marriage. At least that's what Morden seemed to think it was. Like I said, it's weird with some of the characters, because some of the guys seem to know it's a proposal and some of the other ones don't.
Hello there, Elaine. What is it you wish to discuss with me?
I'd like, sorry.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Ah, so it goes. Farewell for now.
I do like your fit, and I do love owls. Like, I really love owls. Owls are great.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I anticipated this from the moment I was summoned forth to this altar. Though I can't say I have confidence in the decision.
You should. Do you remember what you said to me? How you dreamt of a future where humans and Bestrels can live in harmony, free from the bounds of race or nationality. In that moment, I knew, with you at my side, nothing is impossible. Not even the salvation of Fevrith. So please, accept this ring, and together, we shall make both of our dreams into the brightest reality.
My word. Even after all my years on this earth, there's truly no telling what surprises life may have in store. And, if I recall correctly, you spoke much the same regarding the future of our two peoples. How you believed they could overcome their differences and march as one to the same beat. Well, you should know that I share your hunger for peace. Not merely for Bastorius, but for the world over. A better life, and a better home. I could never spurn the chance to bring such a transformation to pass. I accept. With great pride.
I had faith you would. Thank you, Ramona.
Let this rite serve as the first step toward a new dawn. For Bestrel, man, elf, and all life on Fevrith and beyond.
We'll make it so. You and I together.
And once we do, we can mark the occasion with a hearty bowl of fresh fish stew.
My mouth is watering already.
That's like one of the first ones specifically with one of the ladies that hasn't actually felt like a marriage proposal. Interestingly, that kind of felt like a partnership, like agreeing to work together to bring about our goals, like it does for a lot of the guys. Interesting. I mean, it does seem like she's like way older than Elaine, so it makes sense. But then again, so is Yana, even though she doesn't look it, so you know. All right, Dinah. Hello. How are we doing? Got a favor I need to ask you, Elaine. What is it? I want you to promise me you'll protect Unify no matter what happens. I would be glad to do so, Dinah, but where exactly is this coming from? She's one of the nicest people I've ever met, always has been. Any fight she sees, she'll be jumping in to break it up. When a friend gets hurt, she's always the first one rushing to help. And when you've got something to celebrate, she'll be right there celebrating with you till the sun goes down. If anyone deserves the best that life's got to offer, it's her. I know exactly how you feel. And there's your answer. Oh, and one more thing. If you ever have to pick between saving my life or saving hers, well, you know what to do. But don't make me ask you again. I won't. Just know that if such a situation ever arose, I would do what it took to protect you both. Appreciate you saying that. This promise of yours only involves her. So long as she's safe, that's all that matters. Okay, you really, really want to protect Unify. Really, really care for Unify. Over here? And is it this one? Yes. I didn't think it'd be this cold tonight. Thank you both for keeping the patrol this evening. I'm certain it was... Watch out! Ah, Unify! Bastard. Damn it, I couldn't pick up a scent in all this snow. Ugh, two of you alright? I think so. Looks like Unify just fainted for a sec. You're bleeding pretty badly there. Don't worry about me. I need to get Unify back to camp and have a healer look at you as well. Okay, well you did the thing you said you were gonna do. Everything okay? So it would seem. She'll be awake again any moment now. I'm relieved that you weren't hurt either, Dinah. Also spoken to Joseph about fortifying our perimeter, at least for the time being. That's not what I'm talking about. I want to know how you're doing, Elaine. Much better now. The healer saw to that rather quickly, actually. Though I shall gladly bear any wound to keep both of you safe, just as I said I would. Maybe you should reconsider. I would have been just fine without you getting yourself hurt for me. All the same, Dinah. I made you a promise, and I fully intend to keep it, no matter the cost. Ugh. Grr, I knew you were still hurt. Now go back to your tent and get some sleep, Elaine. That's an order. Wow, you're being ordered. Elaine is being ordered around. Alright. And... boom. I think this is the last one that I have 3 with, specifically. Unify and Ramona, Elaine and Dinah. There we go. It's late, Dinah. You should really head in and get some rest. Always quick to offer your opinions, aren't you? Forgive me, I didn't mean to impose. Don't worry, it's nothing worth agonizing over. It's only natural a commander cares about what his soldiers are getting up to. That's all you see me as, right? A soldier? Of course not, Dinah. You're far more to me than just that. Keep your voice down, will you? You're gonna wake up the whole camp if you keep shouting like that. Indeed. Shouldn't have spoken to you in such a manner. Maybe I shouldn't have been so harsh on you, but you really do care too much. Who knows when that'll end up killing you, Elaine? Just like it almost did before. Speak true, and yet I'm glad to have kept you both safe. Despite the somewhat severe pain I endured in doing so. Well, it's not worth dying over. There are a lot of people out there who couldn't stand to see you get hurt. Including me. So don't forget to look after yourself, yeah? I won't. Though I can't promise the same if someone I care about is in danger, someone like you. Huh. You should get back to camp, Elaine. I'll be there soon enough, so don't worry about me while I'm gone. As you wish. Good night, Dinah. Why can't you just hear what I'm telling you, damn it? Yeah. Alright, let's go. See what yours is all about. So... save. Gotta do what I gotta do here. There we go. Alright, Dinah. What's your reaction gonna be when I tell you like, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Ooh.
Need something?
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
You what? Next time, try thinking before you blindly act.
Okay, yeah, we got yelled at. We deserve that, though. Your tail looks like it would be very nice to cuddle. Alright. Boom.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Elaine, I know how deeply you care for those who fight for you. Better than most, I'd say. But I thought that sentiment applied to all of us equally.
And it does, to an extent. Every last one of my soldiers is important to me, but I realized something when I saw you in danger. Among all others, you are the one I hold most dear.
What am I supposed to say to that? Knowing you mean every word of it. Not to mention the way you act around me. It's just not fair. I showed up planning to turn you down, you know.
I'm sorry.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. What business do you have apologizing? Fine. I'll stand by you. To the very end.
Thank you, Dinah, for saying yes, despite yourself.
One more thing. Remember what I said before? How I don't want to see you hurt? It's even more true now. So no dying on me, okay? I want you to promise.
I promise. I'll never let you experience that pain again.
Do you have like a little charm on? I feel like she has like a little like face on her belt. It looked like a little charm or something. It just could have just been like a piece of armor or something, but I don't know. Interesting. Okay, load. And what now? God. My brain's definitely falling apart doing so many of these back to back, but we don't have many more left. We are almost there. Home stretch right now. Elaine and Bertrand, let's go. I'd like to give you these, Prince Elaine. Pistorius is a cold place indeed, but perhaps a pair of mittens can make it a little warmer for you. Appreciate the thought, Bertrand. Thank you. Oh, and some armor commonly used by the bear bloodline, though even a human should have no trouble wearing it. It's a kind gesture, and I'm not certain I'm even able to move under the weight of such heavy equipment. Fair point, yes. Forgive me the imposition. I really wish to prepare for any possibility, so I never again come to regret not doing so. I value that input, but I promise you, all of us are doing everything we can to ensure we live to see another day. My son gave the same assurance moments before we marched to his death. Sorry for making you relive such a painful memory. Don't apologize. To be honest, the reason I've been so insistent on helping you is because of how deeply you remind me of him. It's clear now that my concern is unneeded. It's not true at all. If it brings you peace of mind, I would gladly accept any kindness you're willing to give. Thank you, Prince Elaine. It was a true honor to fight beside one as open-hearted as you. Alright. Done. And I travel. And we hit this. Bertrand! Oh, skip. Sorry, there's been a mistake.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Looks like it. I'll be seeing you around then.
Okay. 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 No. You thought you were gonna get one by on old Quasi, huh? No. Alright, Bertrand, for real this time. Hello.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You'd really entrust such a thing to me?
I would. The loss of a son is a fate I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. And yet, you've not succumbed to your grief, but instead turned its fervency into strength for the liberation. That selflessness commands nothing but the deepest respect. And I would share this covenant with no other.
Impressive candor, as always, and a kind heart befitting a king. My dear child, had you but lived, would you have grown to be a man this strong, a man this gentle, this full of warmth?
Bertrand.
Apologies. The conviction in your eyes has more than convinced me. I'll accept your oath.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm truly grateful for this, Bertrand.
Please, the honor is all mine. There is no finer man I could hope to serve.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much what I expected. But leaning into the route of like, yeah, I remind you of your son is an interesting one. Very, very interesting. Okay. So, rapport. And we're almost done with the Bestrels, and then we just have 5 angels. Some of them only have one thingy. Bryce is gonna be a weird one. Let's go see what Govel's up to, though. Always like your level up message. My fur is shinier. So your tail is wagging, Govel. Is there something you're feeling especially pleased with? Not really, no. Just kinda does that sometimes, like when you see a friend come home safe. Can you say my presence is the cause of such a phenomenon? Now that I think about it, this very thing used to happen to the dog on Palavia whenever she saw me. Not a pet, you know. How would you feel if I said you reminded me of a damn monkey? I'm especially thrilled, I suppose. Forgive my lack of manners, Govel. Besides, you're far more majestic than those adorable little dogs could ever hope to be. Oh yeah? I can get used to majestic. Not that I blame you for thinking a puppy's cute. Same thing crosses my mind whenever I see a little human running around town. Just can't help going over to ruffle their hair, you know? Somehow I struggle to imagine that. I don't dream of treating an adult like that, though, and I suppose it's just you start thinking the same. Tell any Bestral they remind you of a pet, and they might just try and rip your throat out. Yeah, thank you for being cool with Elaine's very insensitive comment. Wag of his tail appears to say otherwise. Alrighty. Immediately back over there. The fast ones. Yeah, I imagine we're gonna finish this about an hour and a half of recording time, so this is gonna be quite a long video, but worth it, I think, to have finished everybody sans the one character off. Alright, Govel. What's yours gonna be like? Elaine, please do not call him a puppy again.
You know, judging by the statue, you'd think I was the unicorn here. Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. Figures. All this stuff about maidens and unicorns is above my pay grade.
Bye, Govel. Come back, Govel. Boom. Yes.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden. Whoa there. You sure about this? Guess I'm not too surprised, but that thing's made for human fingers. Why give it to me? Despite your outwardly gruff demeanor, I possess few friends more affectionate and courageous than you. In my eyes, you deserve this ring above all others. Fine then. If that's what you really want, I'm your guy. And hey, palling around with the king who saved Fevrith might just make people think different about us Bestrels. I want this world to be a peaceful one, for all its races. With you, it feels like that's actually possible. Thank you, Govel. I promise I'll do all I can to make that dream a reality.
I do like that the wolves specifically have the kilts. It's nice.
The king's right hand, huh? I like the sound of that. Now, let's make sure you get that crown back.
I like how I talked so much about how the wolf Bestrels seemed like so good, and like just Bestrels in general seemed like really strong units. And then I never actually got a squad together where I utilized them a ton. I would send them out sometimes when it was night, but that was basically it. But, I don't know, it felt like kind of a waste if you... I mean, they're still very good, obviously, in the daytime. There's no reason not to like, only send them out at night, but I don't know, I just kind of started doing that. I did already kind of love the characters that I had chosen by that point, though, so... Bryce! How we doing, friends? Definitely gonna need to have a drink here. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. There we go. Father Almighty. Bryce? Something the matter? Well, speak of the devil, I got a question I want to ask you. Feels like it's barely been days since I joined the Liberation. The second people find out I'm keeping an eye on you, they come running over to me. For what purpose exactly? Tell me how good of a leader you are, how thoughtful you are, a million different things, all good of course. The damn army won't shut up about it. I trust you, kid, more than most people trust their own reflections. It was a nice thing to hear, despite the inconvenience it seems to be causing you. The way they talk, I figured it was just a matter of time till you got all smug over it. But you never let it go to your head. I guess what I'm wondering is, how? How do you stay so damn grounded when everyone else keeps trying to lift you up? Because there's only one reason I'm even here. To restore my home to its rightful rulers. Much as I might want it, no amount of praise will ever bring my mother back. Yet I can reclaim her nation, our nation. And I seek to do the same not only for Cornea, but for all of Fevrith's peoples. Any trust I've gained, any soldier I recruit, is ultimately for that purpose, and that alone. All these years I've been looking for a place me and my men can call home. Here you are, winning that home for the whole damn continent. It's funny, came to this trying to see if you even deserve to be king. Now, I'm actually looking forward to the day you finally are. Perhaps you consider simply trusting me, rather than always holding that spear at my back. I think I'll do a bit of both if you don't mind. Oh, and keep it up, Commander. Okay, yeah, I mean, Bryce is sick of everybody talking about how amazing Elaine is, which... Yeah, I mean, everybody does kind of love Elaine. He's perfect, so... alright. Save. Save over this again. And we'll see what we got. Bryce. Hit me with your best shot, Bryce. Fire away.
Hey there, Commander. Something on your mind?
Oh, I forgot that's your voice. Nope.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Don't worry about it. Happens to the best of us.
Okay. And then let's hit another one of those.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I figured that's what this was about. Doesn't make it any less of a surprise, though. So, out of all the people you could pick, why me?
We made a promise, Bryce, that you would keep an eye on me, and if I proved myself unworthy of the throne...
I'd run you through.
I have to admit, the cost of breaking such a promise has kept me standing even taller than I otherwise would. I could have 1,000 armies, and there'd still be none other like you.
Can't exactly refuse an offer like that. But remember, there's always a price to betraying a contract. So, no turning back once it's sealed. If you take the throne and start championing the moneyed over your common man, well, you know what'll happen.
Yeah, Bryce is like, screw the rich, hell yeah.
Anyway, I'm done talking your ear off. I'll take that ring now.
I'll be looking forward to more of these lectures in the years to come.
You really are a strange one, kid. But maybe that's just what it takes to change the world.
That was a pretty sweet one. I like that one. I like that one. I never would have thought Bryce, of all people, would be the one that I'd be, you know, like, pretty into. That one's nice. Especially for one where we only got one cutscene of, like, kind of, you know, relationship building between them. Because obviously the ones that have 3 hit a little bit harder than a lot of the other ones just because you get more context for their relationship. So, Rhaenys! How are you? I should think it rather lucky that Zenorgan arrow hit your back, yes? Better that than risk your wings being injured, I suspect. It's the opposite, actually. Feathers provide far greater protection than mere skin ever could. Thus, I should have used them to deflect the blow instead of allowing it to strike me unimpeded. I would imagine they'd be so strong, given how they look. Not to mention you can fly with them. I must admit, I'm somewhat jealous. You are? Oh, my apologies. I suppose that's an impolite thing to say to an angel. Yet I understand the feeling well. I often used to be jealous of humans myself. Once even sought to sever my own wings in an attempt to become one of you. What could have driven you to do such a thing? Despite our similarities, there shall be an inherent separation between my kind and yours. Some amongst us even look down upon humans as little more than vulgar creatures in need of our aid. In the world at large, as well, our 2 races are never viewed as equals, no matter the situation. Hence angels such as I find it difficult to truly sympathize with the sorrows of humanity. That distance is surely the reason Lady Scarlet left me here the day she departed for plebeian shores. Certain she cares not for what race you are, Rhaenys. Only that you are the same woman she remembers from all those years ago. Yet the question still plagues my heart. Is it truly appropriate for me to stand beside her? I believe you already know the answer to that. It's clear in the kind that she's always borne for you, as well as the sheer delight which crossed her face upon your reunion. Yes, you're absolutely right, my prince. Here we go. Okay, so this one's gonna seem like it might focus a little bit on like the relationship with Scarlet and just, you know, we have more of the like differences that like people just being kind of, well, definitely racist in some of these instances, like feeling that humans are inherently lesser and things like that. Are you hurt, Rhaenys? Came right away when I heard what happened. Okay, thank you. More importantly, so is Lady Scarlet. Speaking of whom, we're due to deploy again any moment now, yes? I must return to her at once. Hold a moment. I led you march into battle injured as you are, nor would Scarlet want you to do so. You attempted much the same thing when first we met, as I'm sure you remember. Yet if something were to happen to her in my absence, no harm shall come to her, I promise on my very life. As for you, every moment of every day is spent thinking of someone other than yourself. You mustn't forget to turn that kindness inward at times, else you lose sight of what matters most. Now stay, and see to your recovery however necessary. I shall stand guard over Scarlet for you. You would truly do such a thing? I would. I must ask as well, have you hidden any other injuries from me? Tell me the truth, Rhaenys. Indeed I have. Thought as much. Tell me, how did I become as kind-hearted as you, my prince? How do I become as kind-hearted as you? Sorry? Whenever I speak with you or with Lady Scarlet, I sense an inexpressible warmth lurking somewhere beneath the surface. Yet every time I attempt to demonstrate that warmth myself to help you both as you help me, it seems all I do is cause you pain and distress. Never once thought that about you. It is difficult for us when you fail to look after your own well-being. So in my opinion, if you truly wish to show us kindness, you must first learn to do the same for yourself. But how? Consider what she would say if Scarlet were hurt. You would ask her to rest, yes? All you need to do is treat your own health and your own happiness just as you would hers. That's a good thing to say to someone that has difficulty, like, always putting everyone else above them. I understand. Forgive me for making you explain in such detail. I might add one last thing, Rhaenys. Push beyond your limits for the sake of those you love is another form of kindness as well. One in which you far exceed anyone else I've ever met. Glad you believe so, my prince. Okay, yeah. This one has some cool stuff in it as well. Alright, back over here. We're almost there, and I have not made the mistake with the saving yet. So, I think we're in the clear. I think we're getting there. Alright, Rhaenys. Come on, fly on down. Come on over. Oh, you're not flying. Oh, Cleese flew in, so...
A pleasure to see you, my prince. I was told you've need of me?
Nope.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
As you say, sir. Merely summon me again if you have any further request.
Okay, bye, Rhaenys. Hey, Rhaenys, come back. I do think I'm still... I do think I'm still going to go with, Liza as, like, my choice. I do really like Liza.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Me, sir? But why?
I've seen firsthand the kindness and strength with which you rise in defense of those you love, even when gravely injured yourself. And I could hope for no greater qualities from the one who will bear this ring, and soon serve as my queen.
Such tender words. When I first arrived at this altar, I thought it some manner of mistake, that I could never fulfill a role so grand. Yet I admit, hearing the contents of your heart spoken plain has swept those doubts far off into the ether. You and I shall change this world, my prince, into a place where none need ever suffer again.
We shall not know rest until it is so. To be with you is everything I could have ever dreamed of. Thank you, Rhaenys.
'Tis done. Should the cold clutches of doubt ever take hold of me again, I shall grasp this ring and remember the heavenly moment we shared here. And, of course, the striking proposal you've graced me with.
You didn't say I love you, Elaine. What? Robbed. I'm robbed of a love confession. Oh my gosh. That's the worst. You can't just take that from me. There was one other moment where Elaine was supposed to finish something and he didn't. So it's definitely in there, like a couple times at least. Okay, so that is done. Why do I keep going to the map like that? Probably because I have to go to the map at other points, but for this point, 3 more left. I'm surprised we have 2 with Jerome, but it's probably something cooking related. Alright, humorous. I think humorous is cool. I'll be interested in seeing this one. Oh, that's humorous. Perhaps I should... Or perhaps not. Well, that was a quick one. Wow, okay. No, it's not over. Hello, my prince. Forgive me for asking this, but why have you been avoiding me? I'm not sure what you mean. These past few days you've seemed to flee at the mere sight of me. What if I had hoped to speak with you? And did you? Must have been a rather important message if you wanted to deliver it yourself. Something like my expulsion from the Liberation. Could you even think such a thing? Scarlet and I chose to accept you in this army of our own volition. We know why you felt your actions necessary, and I would likely have done the same had I been in your position. That and Scarlet has missed you greatly in the years since she left Albion. She has? Nothing I do can unmake the wrongs of my past. I'm well aware of that fact. I also don't want to cause any more trouble for you or Scarlet than I already have. Sorry, Elaine. I'll try to be a little less distant from now on. Please, 'tis not a matter worth agonizing over. Maybe not, but I will atone for my lapse in judgment, even if laying down my life is the only way to do so. Do remember to be kind to yourself as well, Eumerus. I'll try. Okay, yeah, you're one of the ones that's dealing with the guilt of you did things that you regret now, so you're trying to constantly make up for it by putting yourself in harm's way or saying you're going to make the ultimate sacrifice for the cause and things like that. But no, you still deserve to look after yourself. Hello there, Eumerus. My prince. Be calm, I beg you. Only come to give you this. It's a rare Cornian flower, as far as I can tell. Thought perhaps it might be a variety you've never encountered before. This is a Corvinia. Only grows in the deepest of forests and wilts just 7 days after it blooms. As beautiful a life as it is fleeting. You know it then. I do, but I've never actually seen one in person before. These delicate white petals are simply breathtaking. Why have you given this to me? Because you like flowers, of course. That's not what I mean. Oh, you speak of my intention. Suppose I thought it might convince you to drop your guard around me, even if only slightly. Does looking at it not make you feel more at ease? The more we speak, the more I realize how ungrateful I've been toward you. You and Scarlet have shown me nothing but compassion while I've continued to let myself be tormented by my past. I even fled at the very sight of you. It wasn't very nice, no. I just hope you can forgive me for what I've done. No need for that, Eumerus. At least, as long as you don't start avoiding me again. I wouldn't even consider it. Oh, and thank you for the flower, Elaine. I love it. Alright. Romance time. Back over here. And then what? We had 2 more after this? It was just Jerome and Fedoquia, right? I can't believe we've actually made it. I am shocked, I tell you. Shocked!
Why? Why have you summoned me here?
Sorry.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
I would have to agree. Please don't let it happen again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Come back, though. Eumerus. There we go. Like you to have the Ring of the Maiden.
I'd like you to have the Ring of the Maiden.
I don't deserve such an honor. Or did you forget what I've done? How I turned my blade against you?
I remember. But I've also observed you in the days since. Seen how tirelessly you've worked to atone for your past transgressions. And I would say you've more than done so. Such single-minded resolve speaks to the profound purity of your heart. In any case, it's not as though you betrayed us out of malice or greed. So please, Eumerus, let this bitter dance of self-reproach end here and now. From the moment you accept this ring, your sins will be no more. You shall stand among us as an equal.
You're kind, Elaine. Far too kind. But I do like that about you. I accept your offer. I promise to never leave your side from this day forward, neither in battle nor in life.
And I the same. Never again will you be forced to suffer alone, Eumerus. Not while I still live and breathe.
Thank you, Elaine.
My heart is forever yours. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of these, to be fair. Like, you know, these things are going to happen. These things are going to happen. But, gosh, did they gotta miss out on the really wholesome, sweet ones? Did they gotta? Can they not? Alright. So 2 more, right? Or was it 3? It is... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I forgot to do the save that time. it seems. Luckily I had saved just before. So... I mean, I guess if I want to just have that I've actually done all of them, we can just skip that. And then do the next humorous one again. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen at some point. So, do this. And we just skip it. Alright. Now we do the last two. So this should be Jerome, who we actually have 2 with. I'm ready to bake. Hit me with it, Jerome. How are you feeling, Jerome? Better now, thank you. The wound has healed, and I surely stand ready to partake in our next battle. It's a relief to hear. You'll forgive the question, what are those letters you're carrying? Correspondence from my citizens back in Larjun. They arrived only this morning. As you might imagine, I've grown rather worried for their well-being since departing the city. But before I found opportunity to ask of their fortune myself, they began to send me missives such as these of their own accord. It's clear they bear a great deal of trust in you, more than almost any other lord I've encountered in my travels. I was always so frantic when I lived amongst them, but the more you hasten, the less you truly see your surroundings. Who was my effort truly for? Where was I racing all that time? Such anxieties often plagued my mind. But now, to know they think of me frequently enough to send me letters, must admit I feel at peace, a great peace. Pleased to know that. No matter what may come in the days ahead, we shall rid our land of Zenoira, my prince, and restore Fevrith to its natural harmony, both for my people and for all who reside on this beloved continent of ours. Indeed we shall. One day you'll return to them, Jerome, and just imagine the joy on their faces when you do. Such thoughts are a small comfort for now. Thank you, my prince. Yeah. Alright. And Lane Jerome. We got one more. Hanging out over here. Oh, hey, we're back to your place. Would you look at that. Lane and Jerome. Welcome back. Really do worry too much, Lord Jerome. Perhaps so, but I simply had to return after receiving those letters from our people, even for a moment. That's why you came back? Maybe my fears are all for nothing. Oh. Now if there's the city, Jerome. Quite well, in large part thanks to you and the Knights of the Sacred Heart, of course. We managed to restore a semblance of normalcy to these lands rather quickly, I'm thankful to say. It's a fine thing to hear, knowing how deeply you care for your citizens. Once Cornea is at last restored, I hope to rule my kingdom in much the same way. Speaking of which, my prince, shouldn't you be off saving the world rather than wasting precious days here in our modest province? It's alright, we've more than enough time to spare. In fact, Prince Elaine was considerate enough to arrange a brief visit after hearing of the missives I've received. So that really is why you're here. I want to bring this up and risk wounding your pride, Lord Jerome. But all this time I had thought you'd been relieved of your duties with the liberation. You what? I assure you, Jerome here is one of the most tireless hands we could ever ask for. At times he's even known to present us with a pie or two as a way of growing closer to his fellow soldiers. Must you mention that, my prince? Sounds just like him, yes. I couldn't tell you how many of his incredible baked goods I've enjoyed myself, or how many he's provided for the city. I even saw him giving some souvenirs from your travels to a local kids just now. Quite enough, thank you. It's a pleasure we have someone like you amidst our ranks, Jerome. Together we shall defeat Zenoira and safeguard the home you hold so dear. This was my intention when I agreed to join you. Let us see it through to the very end, my prince. Well then, here's we should be going now. I'd much prefer not to halt our army's advance any further than I already have. A moment, Lord Jerome. I just want to say I'm glad you decided to come back to us, and so is everyone else. And even in your absence, we've been getting word of all the great deeds you and the Liberation have accomplished. So keep that fire burning strong and win the peace this world deserves. So strive to do just that, and we pray my presence doesn't hinder their progress. Oh, and one more thing. Try not to bother the prince too much, will you? After all, who knows when he might decide to oust you for real. Oh yes, I suppose you're right. Sorry, I didn't mean to worry you. I'm sure you'll be just fine. Be well, my lord. Thank you, Lottie. Now I believe it's my time to leave. Hey. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I misspoke on something there, but my brain's definitely getting to the point where it's like, I'm tired, boss. And it's requiring a lot of reading and parsing of text and everything too, so there's a lot my brain's keeping up with at the moment. Alright, save. And hit it. Jerome, yeah. You. And then we just got Fedoquia and we're done. Okay. You can do this, me. I believe.
I've word you summoned me, my prince?
Nope.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. Ah, yes. I see. Please don't spare the topic another thought. What is life without a few mistakes, hmm?
Yeah, I mean, you make desserts and bake and stuff. You've had your fair share of mistakes. You know what it's like. There we are. Like you to have the Ring of the Maiden.
I'd like you to have the Ring of the Maiden. A test, is it? Huh. What is a loyal knight meant to say in such thorny situations? Calm yourself, please. I assure you, I'm not expecting any particular response. Yes, right. But in that case...
I love how nervous you are.
Forgive me the question, but what exactly do you keep glancing at? How shall I ever divulge it to him? If Elaine ever knew I asked my adherent to observe us for fear of being ousted, he would surely oust me then and there.
Oh, this is amazing! We've never had someone else hanging out at the proposal site before, but Lottie's just over there hiding in the bushes.
Is everything all right?
She did the little... That's like the battle victory pose they do. Oh, that's amazing. This one's great.
I'm starting to wonder if I've made a mistake. Listen to me, Jerome.
Okay, Jerome's is great. Jerome has a fantastic one of these.
From the first we met, it was clear as day how deep and earnest a love you bore for the people of your city. Oh, well... I'd like nothing more than to extend that love toward the entire kingdom. To greet the dawning of peace with you at my side. Would you accept this ring as a symbol of that wish? My word, I never dreamt you felt that way. If you're assured in your decision, I would be honored to accept.
Looks like it all went perfect to plan.
Indeed it did. Thank you for making sure he didn't run off.
Oh, the double play! Lottie was actually here to make sure you didn't leave.
You mean to say you conspired against me?
Oh, this one was amazing. This is a good one. I would not have expected Jerome's to be the one I would be like, oh yeah, that's a good one. But that was a good one. That was a good one. I like that. Alright, final one. Fedoquia, which I feel like is going to be a bit dry because Fedoquia doesn't have a ton to go on. But we almost ended off on an extremely high note with Jerome's there. So let's see what Fedoquia's got. Maybe I'll be surprised. Who knows? Are you certain you're well enough to fight, Fedoquia? Indeed I am, owing wholly to yourself and Lady Scarlet. First I failed to understand why you chose to let me live. Yet I realize now you wish to grant me an opportunity to seize revenge against Zenoira. That isn't why. Truth, it seems almost cruel at times to have kept you alive whilst you suffer such immense pain. I believe that pain to be a gift in a way. The ability to redeem others who have known a similar grief under Zenoiran rule. Pray that with your aid we can ensure none will ever again have to experience what you did. There's a merciless way to think of the world. Forgive me. Please lift your gaze. To the torment I inflicted upon my citizens out of pure spite, I cannot claim to be any better. Yet together we shall purge the dark stain of Zenoira from these shores, and in so doing see that no further innocents are met with an early demise. Let us take up arms once more, Fedoquia, not as enemies, but as we were before. But as allies. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Yeah. That's to be expected. Alright, and the final one, and then I'll just have to come over here and repropose to Liza. Fedoquia. I actually did it. The mad lad actually did it. God, why do I put myself through these things? But I like seeing it. It's cool.
Prince Elaine, I was informed you had words for me.
Nope.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
The error is all mine. Forgive me the imposition.
How is it yours? You were apparently told that I have words for you and you're like, it's my fault? No, that's not how it goes, Fidoquia. You can blame me, it's okay.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I assume such an offer is symbolic of the trust you have placed upon my shoulders. While I cannot deny the joy I feel in this moment, am I truly the one you desire?
I know well the sacrifices you're willing to make for the well-being of others, and that you possess an unbreaking spirit, dauntless in the face of even the deepest despair. So I'm certain a covenant with you would bring these rings immeasurable power.
You know, Prince, our battle at Paeston forever altered the trajectory of my life. Not only were you able to liberate the city, but my heart as well. To refuse a gesture this righteous would be tantamount to divine treason. I accept.
You've done me a great honor, Fidoquia. Thank you, truly.
Fidoquia, not Quia. I've been saying Fidoquia.
All that I am is air in your service.
Then I've nothing to fear, and much to be grateful for.
I mean, yeah, you really don't have much to fear with that sacrifice ability that they have. That thing's really strong. Alright. We are done. We are finished. We have done it. We have conquered all the— No, not that one. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have really made a difference, but still. Alright, Liza. And I'm just gonna fast forward through your cutscene. I'm sorry, Boo, we've already had this conversation, but you were the one I choose, yes. Liza! Liza, I'd like you to have the Ring of the Maiden. There we go. Ring of the Maiden and Ring of the Unicorn! Okay, so what were the stats on those things? Where you at, Elaine? There you are. So currently you have a Carnelian pendant. What if I give you the Ring of the Unicorn? Base AP +1 plus stats all +5. That is quite good. And do I want Liza to have it? Currently have guard rate. You have base PP +1. Which honestly, I do think I like that better on you. Can I give it to someone else? Like Osh here has a Carnelian pendant. Can I give it to Osh? I think I want to say I saw a comment that said you could. No, it does have to be on the character you chose. Okay, I mean Liza can have it, you know. Let's see, you currently have aid cover, aerial guard. What's your guard rate without the cloth gauntlets? How about that? 77%. That's way lower. Do I have a higher guard rate shield to give you? Slightly higher. The Moonlight one could be good. Steel Great Shields, Phantom Knights. Yeah, I feel like Moonlight Great Shield's probably gonna be our best bet. An 82% guard rate is still very good. So yeah, do that. Do that. Oh wait, no. I mean, yeah, you're going to keep that, but these do the same exact thing. So I can just give you something else now. Or just have you with 4 PP? Honestly, 4 PP wouldn't be bad. Yeah, no, take 4 PP. Take 4 PP. Alright. Yeah, that looks good to me. That looks quite nice, so. Alright. Well, with that, we are done. We've done it. I can get to sleep. A lot of good things can happen now, and next time we may possibly just finish the game, which would be cool, so. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for some more.